high sticking, 5 for fighting. Ruskowski 2 for roughing and 5 for fighting. Now Morrell was not going to make the original call on the penalty because the penalties broke out after. He didn't have his arm up when they went to the boards, and then Ruskowski started the fight, and that's what the Penguins are arguing about, and I think they're absolutely right. He's just evening things up here now. The Penguins' beef is that if the high stick call, you would have had your arm up and you would have made the play, but that was not what happened and transpired. So now the coincidental minors and majors will be served. They'll not be shorthanded on the ice. In addition, Mr. Buskus will go in and see if he needs some suture work. Other scores: Chicago beat Hartford tonight 7-0. Washington beating Buffalo 3-2. Edmonton over Vancouver 7-0. Montreal in the third leading New Jersey 5-0. We've got more, so stand by. Left into the Penguins end. Heron leaves it for Mo Mantha. Bodger, a weak attempt to clear. Here's Marcel Dion. Dion letting one go, and it came off Heron with the puck right to the Penguins' Bruce Crowder, who will wheel it up. And I'm not sure where the puck went. It seemed to be back in play, maybe one in the Penguin bench area. Barry now. Caution bringing over Bruce Crowder to say something to him. Here's Marcel Dion.
Marcel Dion wheeling right into almost into the slot when he finally took the shot. And he cranked it on Denny Heron. Heron standing up well tonight. Looked like that shot might have hit him on the leg, and he didn't really know where it went. Fortunately, it deflected wide of the net. Then Denny went for a little skate to try to shake it off. Dion really blasting that puck from short range.
Well, Dion has only 5 goals on the year in 17 games. But he seems to be a much more happier player. He's 4th all-time in National Hockey League scoring, and what a really tremendous player he has been in his career. Shabbat, the assignment against the veteran Dion. Pulled back, and it comes through to center ice. Rick LaPointe and Craig Redmond working defensively now. McClellan looked ahead for Dave Taylor. Shabbat back to work his own end. McClellan now putting pressure on Hamilton, but Jimmy Hamilton's stick handling ability allows him to get the puck ahead to the King zone. Crowder goes in against Rick LaPointe. Put him into the corner boards with a good check. Penguins get the puck. Nope, it's off to LaPointe again. Worked around to the far side. Hamilton puts the body into Dave Taylor, and the Kings gun back up ice. Marcel Dion skates his way to the left side. And a wrist shot stopped. The rebound cleared by Shabbat. It will not be on the net. We may get an icing call here. Redmond slowly coming back to get it, and that is the call. Icing called against the Penguins. They'll bring it back. All right, 2 of the scores in the NHL tonight. Third period, Winnipeg leading Toronto in Toronto 4-3, and Minnesota leading Detroit 3-2 in the third period. Well, happy to have you on board. Late evening telecast back to the tri-state area. Here's a look at the Penguin captain, Mike Bullard. Right side, Mark Hardy. Slap it into the Penguins' near corner. And Hillier is back. He tried to go to Fox. It comes around to Andy Brickley. Stolen by the Kings. Anders Hawkinson, the former Penguin. Losing his stick on the play was Bob Miller. And the Penguins now get it up the length of the ice. There is no icing on the play. And Elliott back to play the puck for Mark Hardy. Hardy to John Paul Kelly. And his pass not there. There's Hillier again. Relaying the puck to Doug Shedd. Shedd starts into the Kings end. Lets a shot go that's off a stick, and it hops up into the crowd here at the Forum. We've got a pretty good crowd on hand here tonight. The Kings out shooting Pittsburgh 12-5.
Mike, you were talking about the crowd, and you know, you almost have to have the feeling with the way the Kings have played on the road, this town got turned on a little bit by it, and they decided to turn out in big numbers tonight. Looks like we got about 14,000 here, maybe more than that. And I really think the Kings may have come out a little bit nervous.
Let's pause right now for station identification. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Mike Bullard now will match it up against Doug Smith. And he has Carl Mokasak and Phil Sykes on either side. Penguins, of course, going with the bullet with Shedden and Andy Brickley. Here's Mo Mantha. Wrist shot, and it almost put in. And we just went wide of the net. Sykes. And he gave it away to Mantha. The Kings passing game a little bit off. Smith hit by Maxwell. And now it is Gary Galley to the left side. To Mokasak. Good pass up the middle to Smith. And Maxwell took him out of the play very neatly to get back and make an effort. Engblom off to Mokasak. Mokasak between the circles. Backhand shot. Maxwell blocked that. Galley with the disc. Around the net to Sykes. He put it in front, and Andy Brickley working the slot area. Clears it away at the backhand. Took a heavy check from Mokosak as he made the play to clear it up ice. And Galley will touch it. We have an icing call. Penguins lead here in Los Angeles on a goal by Mario Lemieux. His 5th of the year. Will return as this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Brian Maxwell makes a good defensive play. A good centering pass right onto the stick of Doug Smith. And it was Brian Maxwell coming back late and just getting the stick out around him to keep him from doing anything with a puck.
Lemieux feeding Babbage from the Penguin zone. And through the center to Warren Young. Young on the off-wing right side. Stopping. Got Lemieux there. Lemieux's wrist shot and it's stopped by Elliott. Back in front. A quick shot by Babbage. Elliott made a good save there. Boy, he had to be very alert because he just made the save on Lemieux and they came right back at him. Lemieux back in his own end. Towering figure, 6'4", to Warren Young. Young right wing. Lemieux off the boards. He'll stop. Falls down. Lost the edge on the skate. Lemieux still going after it. Here's Young in the near corner. Just worked so hard. To Babbage in front. Backhand shot. And it just missed. I don't know if Elliott got a piece of that or not. Nice little move by Babbage there as he turned around on the backhand. Now McClellan beating Jim Fox. And Fox wheels his way into the Penguins' end. To the left point, a shot by Rick LaPointe. And that's stopped by Denny Herron. Held on to. Well, the Pens had some opportunities here. The Kings are flat. And the Penguins trying to take advantage of it. The problem is they haven't been able to beat him since the goal by Lemieux. Here's a look at Babbage's play. Watch this play as he comes around. Well,
very clever play, and I don't know if we're going to see it now. I think it might be a little late, but anyway, there's Craig Redmond wheeling it out from behind his own net after Babbage had spun around to take the backhand shot, and it was hard to tell if it ever got to the net, but it was a clever little play by Babbage. He almost caught everybody by surprise.
Now, it hit something, bounced up high, and that's what happened. Now, the Penguins trying to make a late line change here, and Dennis Morrell is not letting them do so. He's going to bring out Troy Loney and Marty McSorley. Hamilton has to return to the bench, along with John Shabbat. That's the line out now for Penguin coach Bob Berry. This is Hardy missing the cage. Shabbat to McSorley. And Loney at 6'3". His wrist shot, and that's stopped by Elliott. Loney gets it back to Shabbat. There's another big line the Penguins have. McSorley at 6'1". Loney at 6'3", and Shabbat at 6'2". All around that 190 to 200-pound range. Wells finding the loose puck. And he'll stop right behind his own net. Going right wing to Marcel Dion. 4:15 to go in period number 1. Penguins lead here 1-0. The Kings just can't seem to get it going right now. Left side to Marcel Dion. He'll flip it to the Penguin net. Aaron leaves it for Mo Mantha. Mantha now paired with Bodger as Buskus is still off. Around the near side, Dion getting the puck to Gary Galley. His wrist shot was knocked aside. Back to center it comes. The Kings set it up. Engblom went to Taylor. We have an offside call. So the Kings guilty of the offside infraction. Less than 4 minutes to go in the first period.
The point I was trying to make before I went to the ID was that I think the crowd here and I think the Kings really felt that this was an opportunity to maybe get this town turned on a little bit. And they knew after coming off the road that they would have a big crowd, and maybe they've responded a little nervously to it. I think that's happened before in Pittsburgh, I think, over the years. And you can understand why it might happen here.
Marty McSorley into open space in the left wing corner, Kings zone. And Galley checked heavily by Loney. Let the Los Angeles Kings have the puck, and they work it back to the red line. Randy Hillier with Greg Fox are the two defensemen on now. Lifted back behind the Penguin goal. Fox around the far side. He sends it to no man's land, and back for the puck will be Brian Maxwell. Or not, I beg your pardon, Engblom. Maxwell, of course, wears number 5 for the Pens. The opposite number. And to center ice. Here are the Kings again. Just dump and run right now. Both teams just dumping the puck up and down the ice. Hillier looking for Taylor, who has some room. They back in a little bit. Taylor going to the Kings line. The Penguins go to a line change. So there was no play at all to develop. Everybody was gone except Mark Taylor. Kings find John Paul Kelly at center circle. JP will leave it for Bob Miller. Off his blade. Couldn't hold the pass. Bullet around the horn. The left wing to Andy Brickley. Now we've got Maxwell and Anders Hawkinson. And Hawkinson actually lost his balance and went down as Maxwell leaned into him. And Maxwell will be penalized, as will Hawkinson. They had the penalties coming up before they fell down. We will take a timeout here from Los Angeles. The Hawk and Mr. Maxwell will sit down. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
The big Swede, Anders Hawkinson, former Penguin, spent one season with the Pens. And there's Brian Maxwell, each for high sticking at 17-22.
So both clubs shorthanded by a man, but they're at equal strength. And Rick LaPointe of the Los Angeles Kings from behind his own net stumbled a little bit, got it out the right side. Doug Smith. Smith against Bodger. Bodger takes him against the board. Off the puck he goes. But he'll work hard and get it back. Doug Smith. Still after the puck. Board kind of waves at him. Now he chases after him. A backhand shot by Smith. That's off a skate. Coming to the right side. Redmond, clever little move to back it into the corner for Sykes. And Board rams him against the wood. Penguins trying to get the puck out. Board now lead pass to Shedden. One man back. Here's Mantha joining the play. He's going for the net. Shedden, crank it up. His shot, and Elliott reached up with a glove hand and held on. Mantha tried to deflect that puck in as it came up high. You rarely see that. Usually it's the forward going in with Mantha firing, but this time it was the opposite.
Boy, Mantha came from a long way. He saw that opportunity developing way back in his own end. He just started charging towards the net. Shedden waited as long as he could, trying to use Mantha maybe as a screen or to at least distract the goaltender Darren Elliott. And then he cranked it up, and Elliott was able to make that glove save with Mantha right there with the blade of his stick right up by the glove.
Well, Lemeiux is on here now, joined by Warren Young. A minute 17 to go on the minor penalties to Maxwell and Hawkinson. And from the face-off, Lemeiux put a shot on the net. He beat Marcel Dion. Jay Wells, though, takes it away from the cage, and now to send it to Mark Hardy. Hardy's pass to Dion. Lemeiux steals. Tap it into the Kings' zone. Wells and Lemeiux have some words now as they run into one another. That's one to watch right now. We just saw that happen. Here's Dion cutting back into the pins in. Hillier trying to stand him up, knocks him down. No penalty called. It comes off the near side. Taylor to Wells. Slap shot here in the save off his right leg. Wells again back to the net. Heron to his knees again to make the save. Look out, Dion behind the goal. Dion turning. Backhander. Heron stops it and holds on. Now Dave Taylor in there working behind the net. Now Denny Aaron is down. Aaron's going to be slow in getting up here. He has the bad leg.
He's got a problem with his stomach muscle, too, as we were talking earlier. And Dion making a nice play. Trying to come. That was actually Taylor.
It was Taylor.
Coming around the net, trying to stuff it in, and Heron diving back to the post and able to cover it up before he could get that last whack at it.
And who was that cleared him off the crease? Lemeiux. A minute 16 to go, 38 seconds on those minor penalties. Pittsburgh with a 1-0 lead. And John Shabbat is joined by Bruce Crowder now. Dion and Taylor remain up front for the Kings. Mantha clearing. Near side, Shabbat took an elbow from Wells, but here's Crowder coming back 2-on-2. Lead a pass left side, got a man on with Bodger. Shot, and Elliott stops in cold. As Bodger cut in from the left wing circle. Well, Elliott's made some tough saves here in this first period. The Penguins only able to get one. Sometime the Kings are going to put some real pressure on the Pens before this one is all done. I'd like to see the Penguins maybe pick up a couple of goals here against Elliott. And since the goal by Lemeiux has been unstoppable, or unbeatable would be the better word.
That's twice now, Mike, that defensemen have come up late on the play to get in on the goaltender. And that time Bodger had a good crack at it, but Darren Elliott coming out to challenge him and make the save.
Mantha down low. The save made by Elliott. Kicked at by the Penguins and controlled by Jimmy Fox. Less than a minute to go in the period. And Galley unable to keep control of the puck. Shabbat right back, and Crowder steals from Galley. Crowder now into the Kings' end. His shot blocked by Engblom. Shabbat is after it. Left wing corner. Good pass. Left point. Bodger. His head down. His slap shot. And Elliott can't find it, but he made the save. And play is whistled down. Elliott could not find the puck. The hard blast by Bodger. Penalties have expired now to Maxwell and Hawkinson. And you'll take a look at the play again.
Bodger had plenty of time, and he really cranked it. Elliott going down to make the save. Wondered where it went, and it landed right underneath him, I believe. Looking around, he had it.
A big smile on his face. Had it all the way. He's telling the referee Morrell.
Looked like he might have taken that on the inside of his leg. He's walking it off a little bit. He turned his pad a little bit. It might have caught him right in the back of the calf.
Lemieux to handle the face-off with 34 seconds to go in the Kings end. Lemieux won it. Left side to Greg Fox. His shot through traffic, and that's stopped by Elliott. Ruskowski back on here now after serving his minor and major penalty. Inside the blue line, it is Lemieux throwing it towards the net. And Englund will stop it. Around the right side to Galley. Galley's lead pass. Coming to center ice to Nichols. Nichols into the Penguins end. Trying to go to Ruskowski right down the slot, and Fox is able to break up the play. Here's Lemieux with 6 seconds to go. It went wide of the net. Elliott watching the play as comes back in his touch now by the Kings. The time has run out, and that is the end of the first period with the score. The Penguins 1 and the Los Angeles Kings nothing. We'll return here to the Forum in a moment as we tell you this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Surely you've heard the Penguins referred to as the boys of winter. It's one of the real charms about hockey, the fact that it is a winter sport. You kind of get visions of people fighting the elements to get to the arena and then huddling up for a hockey game as the wind whistles outside the building. That's the kind of environment that hockey players are accustomed to. So you can imagine why it comes as a bit of a shock to the Los Angeles Kings players when they drive to the rink in a convertible or lie on the beach the afternoon of a game. Penguins coach Bob Berry spent 11 years in Los Angeles, and he really understands what it's like to play hockey in Hollywood.
The general atmosphere created around the hockey team there is something that can create some diversions. But apart from the weather, the thing that is most difficult is the fact that we travel so much. I know the last year I was there, I did a survey on the travel, and we ended up traveling almost 72,000 miles compared with the New York Islanders, who traveled just over 20,000 miles. So I don't think the weather is really a problem. It's something you learn to deal with, but the travel is something that usually catches up to that team in March or in early April. Well, we had a $500 fine for a suntan, and I've been joked and kidded about that and asked questions and queried about it numerous times, but the plain and simple truth was, we mentioned the weather before, the fact that you'd have your pregame skate in the morning and go home, and a lot of the players lived around the beach area. There was a tremendous temptation to go and lie in the sun for a couple of hours, and I don't think those are the things you should be doing for a hockey game. So it was a fine that we had, but I never collected on it. Going back on the years that I was there, I think we had a hardcore group of 6,000 or 7,000 fans, and I know the year we took the Boston Bruins, when they had such a good team, to 7 games in the playoffs. I mean, you couldn't buy a seat in that building for love or money, and I think the whole core of the matter there is the same as anything else, is winning hockey games. I do think in Los Angeles, we've talked about the weather, there is a tremendous amount of competition there for the sports dollar, apart from the Dodgers and the Rams and USC and UCLA. There's the beach, there's skiing, there's a lot of things that people do with their entertainment dollar, but the bottom line was to have a successful team. I enjoy going back. I think that I had 11 years in Los Angeles, and certainly a big part of me is still in that area. I think it's a tremendous area, contrary to what a lot of people here think. It's a very nice area to live. Certainly the climate is conducive to a much more laid-back atmosphere, but it's a very fine place in my opinion. Well, I think the city of Pittsburgh is a tremendous place to live in. I know that coming here in early June, I'd come here for probably 15 years before that and saw only the hotel across the street and the airport, but the city of Pittsburgh and the people themselves here have been most kind, and it's a very, very nice city to live in.
Left it on the plane when he took off.
I don't know.
Dave, I know he loves Winnipeg and Edmonton.
Oh, a fight right here before we start. Marty McSorley and Terry Ruskowski. And I told you somebody's going to remember Ruskowski's number, and it doesn't even start the second period. And here's McSorley and Ruskowski. Marty McSorley and Terry Ruskowski, and they haven't really thrown any punches yet. Ruskowski not too big in size. And we haven't even had the drop of the puck. Ruskowski has his helmet off, and McSorley now, and he goes down. This is right by Ruskowski on McSorley before the second period ever started. This is the third time this year McSorley has been involved in a fight before the puck was ever dropped. I'm sure he had some kind words to say to Raskowski.
Well, you can see why Terry Raskowski is a captain. He's just one of those guys that has a tremendously positive attitude, and he really, you know, right there to protect his teammates as he did earlier in the game. And look at them talking right there at the red line, just jawing at each other. And there they go, the sticks and the gloves.
Look at Morrell. What's happened there?
Los Angeles penalties number 8, Terry Raskowski. 5 minutes each for fighting. Time of the penalties, 0-0, the start of the second period.
That is the first in my career. I don't remember it in the start of a second period. I remember once the start of a game, the two centers matched up, and one fella from the face-off just dropped the gloves and drilled the other one.
5 minutes each for fighting.
Right from the face-off, so it wasn't 0-0. They just had started, but I don't recall that, you know, we've had them after the first period. 0-0. Is that correct? They would do that. Start of the period. Yeah. Put that one down in your book. Here's Bernie Nichols. Cruising back into the Penguins' end. And Nichols is hauled down by Doug Bodger. Penguins lead 1-0 as we do start period number 2. Shabbat. Wheel it up into the Kings zone. And to the right of the net, Darren Elliott. On the near wing, he looked for an open man. It comes to Jim Fox. Fox now left side to Jay Wells. Wells offside of the play at the Penguin line. Mokasak inside the blue line when the puck was carried across. Dan Shackby and Ryan Bozak, the two linesmen tonight. There's a look at big Jay Wells. 25 years old. He and Hardy playing an awful lot together. They have since they arrived on the scene of the National Hockey League.
Look at Pat Quinn on the bench. He's the coach with the Flyers, of course, and is now getting a little smarter. He's on the way to being a lawyer.
Oh, a lot of people are on their way to be a lawyer. Here's a left wing pass. That's broken up. He is educating himself, though, and going to school for it. Here's Wells around the boards, far side. And it came off to Mokasak. Through to center to Bernie Nichols. Back to Mokasak. Nichols down the slot. Quick shot, and Herring got the stick on it to make the save. Shabbat, Loney, and Crowder. And from the right point, Hardy's shot deflected. Maxwell tried to clear, couldn't. He knocks down one of the Kings. And here are the Penguins storming back. Crowder, the center rag. Hit it off Wells, and Wells is stunned on the play. The shot hit him in the leg. Slow in getting back, and it goes behind the net to Mark Hardy. And it's passed way too far. We could get icy, but Nichols is back. Did he touch the puck? Nope, the Penguins got there first. Maxwell to touch it first. This game really doesn't have much flow to it, despite the number of shots we've had. I have a feeling, though, it may pick up in intensity here before we get done.
Kings seem to be having troubles getting the play going, started out of their own end. Their wingers seem to plant themselves a long way out of their own end of the rink, and the long passes from the defense just seem to be missing those wingers, stationing themselves out by the boards. And the Kings just can't seem to get it going.
Montreal beat New Jersey tonight 5-0. That's a final. Winnipeg beating Toronto 5-3. And Detroit and Minnesota, they're in overtime, tied at 3. This one is a 1-0 Pittsburgh lead on a goal by Mario Lemieux, and he is on the ice now. Gary Galley. Galley coming to the Pens end. He's pulled down by Fox. Fox will get the penalty, and the Kings will get a power play. Greg Fox of the Pittsburgh Penguins sitting down. The penalty will come at 1:39. We will move on out of here for a moment. The score, the Penguins 1, the Los Angeles Kings 0. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Galley, a Bowling Green product, made a little move on Greg Fox, tried to charge down that right side, and Fox's stick got tangled up in Galley's legs, and he ended up, tumbling, and Fox ended up in the penalty box for tripping at 1:39. The Kings on their second power play chance.
Right point of the Penguins end. Here's Redmond. Over to Marcel Dion. Tried to go back to Redmond. It went too far, and he'll have to chase back to the neutral zone. Redmond turning around, avoiding the check by Crowder. It comes to Taylor, now to Dion. He get around to the left wing corner. Boy, McCollum can't get there, and Crowder whacks it up the sideboards, and away it goes. Taylor. Couldn't find anybody. It does come into the Penguins' end, though, and Hillier tried to clear. It comes to Taylor. Dave Taylor left side to Hardy. Right side to Redmond, a quick shot, and that is stopped by Denny Herron. It went to his knees, smothered up on it, and held on. Time left with 1:17 to go on the Fox penalty. Greg Fox of the Penguins.
Hardy moved it quickly to Redmond. He drifted just a little bit to the right and blasted it. Denny Herron saw it all the way, dropping down, taking it right into the belly, and then covering up right away.
New York Islanders 10, New York Rangers 4.
There's Redmond, who we mentioned to you, out of Denver University. Just 19 years old, the 6th player taken overall in the draft this past summer.
Kings say they were going to take him all along. That's why they made the deal with Chicago, flip-flopping and ended up in the 6th spot.
Hardy to Redmond. And now back to Hardy. Redmond takes his return pass. Cross rink to Taylor. Penalty coming up here. We're going to have minors to both men. Hillier and McClellan were battling for position in front. And Brian McClellan, who checks in at 6'3", 212 pounds. He looks bigger than that. He's going to get an interference call. And apparently that's the only penalty. So that will even things up.
Los Angeles penalty to number 27.
Well, that happens a lot.
2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 2:30.
You say that happens a lot on the power play because part of what teams are trying to do these days is pick on the defenseman who's in front of the net, try to pull him out of the play and get the open man the puck and have him score. And McClellan there maybe going a little overboard and getting called for interference. That happens a lot. They're not allowing the picks quite as much as they were.
Lemieux out with Warren Young now. It's an equal on-ice situation, 4-on-4, not including the goaltender. Bernie Nichols with the puck, however, and his shot blocked by Young, and it hops up into the crowd here at the Forum. The Kings countering with Bernie Nichols and Jim Fox. Gary Galley will work one of the defensive spots along with Brian Engblom. Penguins on the blue line. Have Bodger and Buskus. Buskus back on. Maybe taking some stitches, I would assume. After a fight in period number 1 with Terry Ruskowski. Penguins winning the draw. It is Lemieux. 1-on-2. Skates his way into the Kings' end. Little drop pass to Buskus. Buskus into the near corner. Buskus out of the corner comes Lemieux, and his quick shot, and Elliott stopped him. Oh, Lemieux came out of nowhere with that puck. The Kings rushing back. Young pulled down Galley. There'll be a penalty against the Penguins again. Fox with it. Penguins must touch it. Get possession. Engblom shooting. That stop is made by Herron. Right of the net. Put back in front, and Young will get the stick to it, but the Penguins, Warren Young, will have to sit down. And the Penguins came dangerously close. Mario Lemieux walked right out of the corner with the puck, almost scored. Elliott stopped him. And now the Penguins draw a penalty as the puck came back the other way.
To number 35, Warren Young. 2 minutes for slashing.
Flashing the call on Young. But here's Lemieux. Let's take a look at it. He digs the puck out of the corner, walks right in front. Now watch how Elliott just waits and waits till he makes that, takes that shot and is able to get the pad out and make the save. Lemieux took a long time to get the shot off. He was hoping that Elliott would make that first move. Elliott guessed right, had the skate right in the right place, and Lemieux shot it right into that pad. Look at Greg Fox.
Now the power play goes back to the Kings. The Penguins penalty killing 18th in the league. An impressive mark so far in the young season. They're trying to improve the penalty killing. They have allowed 17 power play goals. 4-on-3. The Kings have the power play. And Galley with the biscuit. He'll go to Sykes. Lets it go, and it was partially blocked. Went wide of the net. Smith was in front, putting some pressure on Herron. Around the goal. Here is a check by Shabbat, forcing the Kings over to the near side. They went to the left point, and it was too far for Engblom, and he has to come back to center to take the puck again. Not a good pass by Engblom. And Hillier finds the puck. Drill it to center ice. Engblom with it. Fox comes on, so the Penguins now have evened it up again. 48 seconds to go on the penalty to McClellan of the Kings. Right now they're at 4 aside. John Shabbat spinning up the sideboards, and away it goes. We will get an icing call here. I don't think Shabbat realized they were at equal strength. Kings touch it. That'll bring it back into the Penguins' end. Well, John just kind of forgot right there the situation, I think, on the ice, because they were dead equal as far as players were concerned. Now looking at the scoreboard, the time left 33 seconds on McClellan's penalty, and Young has 1 minute and 15 seconds to go on his. Penguins holding on to a 1-goal lead, 1-0.
Well, Lemieux has had a lot of shots. He had 4 in the first period alone. Another chance coming out of the corner. Playing an excellent game so far here tonight. Getting a lot of room out there. I don't see people running into him as much as they were back in Pittsburgh.
Marcel Dion. And he is checked on the play by Brickley. Penguins trying to work the disc out of their own zone. The Kings have it. Here's Dave Taylor. Busquets riding him into the corner board. Stands him up. And Dion again gets the loose puck. Right side to Redmond. He might have a chance here. And back to Dion. Quick shot, score! Marcel Dion has tied the game. Good passing play by the Los Angeles Kings. And Marcel Dion finishes it off. It is 1-1.
Pretty play by Dion and Redmond. Dion circles out, drops it off, then goes right back to the hole. Redmond charged down the right side, looked for Dion going right to the net, and all he did was flip it around Denny Herron right underneath him to get the goal. And the Kings have tied at 1-1. Beautiful play by Redmond and Dion.
For Marcel Dion, it will be his 6th of the year. And Redmond will get the assist. That's the way the play should read. There shouldn't be anybody else involved. So the Kings striking here in period number 2, tying the game. And we go back to play. In 8 seconds, the Kings are going to have a power play.
Los Angeles.
Mark Hardy giving the puck to Bernie Nichols. He has felt it knocked to the ice by Manet. That's goal number 450, I believe, by Dion in a Kings uniform. Lets it back to the Kings in. Mark Hardy turns around from a check by Crowder. Down the right side, it comes to Fox. Well, they give Taylor an assist on that play. Down the left wing board. In behind the net. Fox to Nichols. Left point to Hardy. Power play is in effect now. Loose puck in front. Back to the right point to Redmond. Slap shot. Herron stopped it. And he holds on. Well, big Brian McClellan doing what Warren Young does so well. And that is stand in front of that net.
Well, the Kings have really started to come to life. No doubt about that. There's Redmond again. He really laid into it. And McClellan standing right in front of Denny Herron. Fortunately, Denny saw the shot all the way and hung on. You can just feel the Kings coming to life a little bit right now with that goal by Dion.
Nichols against Shabbat. Still in the pins in with 10 seconds to go in the power play. Work to the right point. Jim Fox. Over to Galley. Galley around the net to McClellan. He is too well tied up by Mantha, and Crowder has it. Penalty is over. Young is on. He'll take the pass. Going to Shabbat. Nice play to cut into the Kings in. Right wing. To Crowder. He's there. A shot. And it hit the post on the fly. Back to center ice. And play will go on as Crowder watches the puck sail onto the Kings in. Here's Fox. Chance left side for Nichols. And it just went beyond his reach. Nichols tied up, pulled down, penalty coming up against Crowder. Crowder is arguing because he thought a penalty should have been called on the other end of the rink. But nope, Morrell will send off Bruce Crowder. We will take a timeout. The Kings have tied the game at 1:14-17 to go, second period. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
John Shabbat is very good with a puck, and he had Gary Galley going every which way. Nice pass to Crowder. He's open coming down the right side. Takes the shot. The puck goes in behind Darren Elliott, goes to the post, and right about that time, Mike Lang lost his headset. But we won't talk about that.
Well, a lot of firsts here. We've seen penalties at the 0-0 mark. And that's the first time ever I've lost the headsets doing a game. Brought me right out of my seat. Here's Dave Taylor. Into Pittsburgh ice. The Kings on a power play. And we are tied at 1. Behind the net. Marcel Dion leaves it for Taylor again. He's pulled down by Hamilton. It goes on. Hardy at the left point. Good effort to keep it in. Hardy cutting for the net. Goes to Redmond. Redmond doesn't shoot it. Back to the left wing board. Takes the pass off the wood as Hardy. Hardy around the net to Taylor. Hardy looking in front. He put the shot on, and Jimmy Herron holds on. A deceptive move there by Hardy. Put the shot on the net. And I think everybody thought he was going to try and slide it over to big Brian McClellan.
I think even Brian McClellan thought he was. McClellan, watch him park himself right outside the crease. Hardy just snapped it across. And Denny Herron, I think he was going to McClellan, and Herron kind of picked off the pass as it went by. Now Denny looking up at McClellan, just telling him, well, you thought you were getting it, but I intercepted that one.
I can know Denny's words. Just get that big moose out of here.
Well, the Kings are starting to come alive, and these power plays are big opportunities for them.
Penalty killing. Mark Taylor and John Shabbat. With Hillier and Mantha on the backside. 1:18 to go on the penalty to Bruce Crowder. And the Kings can't handle the pass. Mantha will try and work it out, and he finds the opening and shoots it up the length of the ice. That will take the heat out of a hot kitchen as the Penguins try and kill off this penalty in period number 2. Redmond to the right side to Bernie Nichols. Nichols has a man wide open left wing. Couldn't get it to Ruskowski, but he goes after it. Ruskowski behind the net. Tried to center it, hit the back of the cage, and Shabbat now sails it away one more time. Darren Elliott. Lead it ahead. It comes to center. Quickly come the Kings into the Penguins in. Nichols handled nicely by Shabbat, but he couldn't clear. He'll try again. And a good effort by Shabbat. Pokes that puck back inside the Kings line. Hardy's lead pass to Nichols. 30 seconds on the penalty. Nichols right to the right side. Skating well. To Galley. In behind the net for Ruskowski. Take it to the near corner. Chipped on the play by Hillier. And Hillier with that long reach. Able to control the puck. Randy Hillier. Game is tied at 1. Penguins offside coming to the Kings zone. But that won't hurt too much because the Crowder penalty. Randy Hillier acquired from the Boston Bruins.
Been bothered by a hip injury, but
And a bad one, too.
a very bad one. And playing with, I think he's playing with pain out there. And if it doesn't hurt him to skate, you have to wonder if he likes to get in along the boards, because it's got to hurt when he gets hit by somebody.
Kings rushing back now. Still in the power play. Lemieux turns and whistles it back to center red. Engblom. Final attempt coming up. Lemieux checks it off his stick, and it went up into the penalty box area. Lemieux has had a strong game tonight for the Penguins. Has done a lot more than the shots he has taken and the goal he has scored. He really has worked the ice very hard, has checked the puck off the Kings' sticks a number of times. And Lemieux.
He looks very smooth tonight, Mike. He's not laboring one bit out there. He's just very fluid, and he just seems to be in the right place at the right time.
You have a big goal by Lemieux in Winnipeg on Wednesday. Carried over to last night's game, and certainly this one has been one of a good effort by Mario so far. We have 12:05 to go in the second period. The end of the Penguins in. Heron's going to come out. Dangerous play there by Denny, but he went diving out and covered up. We will take a timeout here from Los Angeles. We have played 8 minutes of the second period. The game is tied at 1, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. Up watching Penguin hockey. This is Redmond. Redmond lets one go, and Heron got a stick on that. Babbage, Lemieux, and Young, and here's Young with space on the left wing. King zone. Couldn't get to the shot. Redmond, a good defensive play. Lemieux holds it in, however. Lemieux put it in front for Babbage, and the pass just a little bit too hard. Tried to feather that puck in. Back come the Kings. Miller to Anders Hawkinson. Fell off his skates. And Babbage snaps it quickly to Lemieux. He has 2 men to beat. Makes a move down the right side. And it's checked off his stick finally by Redmond. Redmond playing well here in the second period. Lemieux again with the puck. And oh my, he is just dazzling people. Here's Young with it to Babbage, turning around. He goes to the corner, and guess what? Yep, Lemieux is there. Look at that shot from the short side, stopped by goaltender Elliott. He got that shot off anyway from a bad angle. Puck is forced back to center. And it's the Kings' turn. Rick Lapointe. He is pelted by Hillier on a solid hip check, and the play is offside. Well, Lapointe got turned the wrong way, and Hillier had the perfect angle on him. And so we get a stoppage in the action. Boy, Lemieux, the puck seems to be following Mario at times here tonight.
Time for a trivia question, the Equibank trivia question, Mike. Name the 3 Penguin coaches who have also coached the Los Angeles Kings.
All right, we'll give the fans a chance to think about that. Marcel Dion in against Mike Bullard. Bullard hasn't seen a great deal of ice time tonight. They've got a wave going here at the Forum in Los Angeles. Game is tied at 1. Mike Bullard coming out of a traffic jam. Push it through to the Kings zone. Into the near corner. Jay Wells. And around for Marcel Dion. He goes to Hawkinson. So they're double shifting Dion right now. Hardy giving the puck to Taylor. Taylor on the right side, and his wrist shot. That missed. McClellan back to the net. Aaron kicked that aside. Did it hop over the glass? Yes, apparently it did. We'll get a face-off in the pins in. Well, they've got McClellan on the left wing, Taylor on the right side, and Dion working center. So they've taken Ruskowski Oh, he isn't playing this line anyway, but playing with it. Dion working here with McClellan now.
Here's a look at Dave Taylor. He's taken in the 15th round back in 1975. He's had 2 100-point seasons. Played at Clarkson College. One of those guys that was hidden somewhere in the haystack, and they found him. And he's been scoring like crazy ever since.
Kings come into this game with a record of 7-7-3. The Penguins are 6-8-1. There is Berkeley up into the center ice. Bullard sandwiched between two of the Kings in Los Angeles. Now with Dave Taylor forcing it to center. Maxwell with possession to Doug Shedd. Dumped heavily on the play by Mark Hardy. And the Kings take over. Lead pass. They tried to headman the puck to Marcel Dion. That doesn't happen. The Kings will go in again. Brian McClellan. Off to Dion. Back to McClellan. And Bullard moved in on him. McClellan passed to the left point way too hard. It comes all the way to the red line. Wells was shedding on him. And Dion. Marcel Dion to McClellan. He faked a pass and then went to the shot and it missed the net. Taylor behind the goal. Left point. Man is open. Wells, look out. A shot. Save. Rebound. Heron stops Sam McClellan. Able to get the shot off on the backhand. And Heron very alertly stopped that play. We have 9:32 to go in period number 2. We are all tied. Pittsburgh 1. The Kings 1. As we tell you, you are watching the Penguins Hockey Network. John Shabbat against Bernie Nichols, a pair of number 9s. Matching it up here. We'll get to the shots for you and let you know what's happening there in a moment. Penguins haven't had a great deal here against Elliott in period number 2. Gary Galley looking for Ruskowski. He got by Shabbat. Ruskowski into the Penguins' end. And he couldn't lay it off at the point. And the Kings have to regroup and set it up again. Jim Fox and Greg Fox out here. Bernie Nichols taking a whack at a few people. And the Penguins come away with the puck. Here's Hamilton. Kings in, right side to Crowder. His slap shot. That hit the glass. Bouncing away. On the left wing board, Shabbat with it. Shabbat, wheel and deal. Shabbat to Crowder. Cutting for the net. Crowder trying to stuff it in, and he's knocked out of the play by Engblom. And Darren Elliott holds on. Well, the Kings are arguing here for a penalty. Or maybe against a penalty. Dennis Morrell, I think, is going to make a call against the Kings for hauling down John Shabbat.
There it is.
Los Angeles penalty.
Like Bernie Nichols. When you say it looked like Nichols. So a pair of 9s again, Mike, and that time one of them's going to the box.
Well, we will take a timeout. Power play effort coming up for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Bernie Nichols will be sent off. And with 8:50 to go in the second period here from Los Angeles, we're tied at 1. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. 11:10 the time. Babbage in behind the Kings goal, going to Young. Right wing corner comes out. Lemieux's there. Oh, he fanned on it. Oh, my. He had a certain goal there. And Lemieux fanned on it. Hit the edge of his stick and the heel. I don't think you're going to see that happen too often. Here's Young. Young again looking for Lemieux. Bodger left side. Amantha shot. Oh, Elliott reached up at the last second and pulled it down right out of the atmosphere.
That was a great save. It was deflected on the way in, and he still managed to get the glove up and make the save.
Yeah, let's take a look at this if we can quickly. Watch this play by Young to put it right there.
Lemieux tried to whack it in one time. It just didn't get any of it. Hit the heel of his stick. And then Mantha did the same thing one timing it. He did get all of it, but somebody else got a piece of it on the way in, but Darren Elliott got it on the way too. Kept it out of the net. Now Lemieux, with all the chances he's had tonight there, was right there in a platter for him.
Mantha left side deflection. Young in the rebound. Can he put it in? No, it hit the pipe, I think, to the left of Elliott, and somehow he keeps it out. Somehow he keeps it out. Well, the one thing I admire, I'm just watching the play now. We'll get a look at this, but Lemieux just turned away and said, all right, he made a save, but he's going to go right back and come right at him. It's watching his reaction to the play. Here's the deflection in. There's Young. That was the first shot. Watch the puck. I think it went behind him. Hit the post.
Oh, it was sitting right there.
Ruskowski clears to center. We're down to 1:21 to go in the Bernie Nichols penalty. Well, the Penguins coming to life here on this power play with some opportunities, but they still have not been able to get it by Darren Elliott. They scored the first goal of the game on Lemieux's breakaway goal. Young looking for some room, and good checking by Bob Miller. Young able to get the puck to Mantha behind the net to Lemieux. Trying to center it. Hardy broke up that pass. In the corner, Young and Lemieux go in again. The Bulldog trying to work his way out by everybody, but the Kings come out of the pack. Miller had a poke checked away, but he does find presence to get back and hold the puck, and now flip it to the Penguins in. Bodger to Babbage. Pass broken up. Babbage looking for Mantha. Now it comes to Doug Bodger. Rifle it into the Kings in. 33 seconds to go on the penalty, but it comes by everybody. Bodger has to step back one more time. A heavy check on Bodger by Anders Hawkinson. Hawkinson putting a check. Penalty coming up. Slashing call against Bodger. Apparently there will be. Bodger looks at Hawkinson. And Bodger will sit down.
Well, Hawkinson lined him up behind the net. Bodger went back for the puck, and Hawkinson made him pay the price. He made the play, and Hawkinson really got him into the glass, and Bodger wheeled around and then got the stick into him. There it is, a chop right across the shoulders. 12:50 the time, slashing to Doug Bodger. And he'll learn, I guess, to maybe take that next time with the Penguins having a man advantage, and I'm sure he understands that. Probably hurt a little bit, and that's a natural reaction. It looked like he got his face into the glass somewhat. Hawkinson became noted for that kind of thing. He's probably one of the toughest European players you'll ever see. He's a good penalty killer. Just doing those kinds of things can upset the other team's power play. And in that case, take it away from you.
Well, now with 20 seconds to go on Bernie Nichols' penalty, when that expires, the Kings will have a power play. And they're at equal strength right now. Dave Taylor, rink-wide pass to Brian Engblom. Hamilton putting pressure on him. Still tied at 1. And Hamilton, the left side to Taylor. Offside play. Mark had his skate across the blue line when the pass came in. Down to 5 seconds. The Kings will have 1 minute and 40 seconds to go. Let's pause for 5 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Hockey Network.
WPGH TV 53 Pittsburgh.
Well, the Penguin duo of Taylor and Hamilton will have some penalty killing responsibility here in a moment. Mantha and Hillier on the backside. Marcel Dion is joined by Dave Taylor. And Hamilton now slides it away on the ice. Here comes Bernie Nichols, so the power play is in effect for the Los Angeles Kings. They've outshot the Penguins 25-19 so far in the game. Taylor can't handle the pass, and boom, Mantha puts it up in the air, bouncing back into the Kings zone. Darren Elliott will leave it as the Kings rush back with a man advantage. Taylor into Penguin ice, left wing, drop pass, left point to Engblom, right side to Galley. His shot blocked by Hamilton. Can he clear? Hillier will, and he puts it off the sideboards, and away it goes. Shabbat jumps over the boards. Ian Crowder out now to kill the remainder of the penalty time. 1 minute to go on the penalty to Doug Bodger. Left in the near wing for Marcel Dion. Gliding through traffic into the Penguins in. Very smooth is Dion. Around to the left side it comes to Jim Fox. Into the corner. Back to Dion. He and Mantha battle. And Dion comes away with a puck. He'll go to McClellan. McClellan left wing circle. Trying to stick handle here. Goes to the left point. Good pass to Engblom. Right side to Galley. Galley cuts in deep. Holds the puck. Back to the center point. Engblom to Fox, and a slap shot miss. And away it goes to the neutral zone. Engblom with 22 seconds to go on the penalty. Force it up inside the Penguins end. Once again, Hillier back to touch it. Do we have an icing call? That is the call against the Kings. They got caught with a bad pass there. And that will really help the cause with just 16 seconds to go. All right, I'll give you the answer to the trivia question. Is that what you want?
Uh-huh.
All right, Mr. Barry would be one, Bob Barry. Another one would be Johnny Wilson. And I think the third one might be Red Kelly. Is that correct?
You are absolutely right. My voice. You are absolutely right. And do you know what
do I win? Do I win the groceries?
No, you win a free membership to the Night Owl Club.
I'm the vice president of that club. The Owl is the president. Here are the Kings with Mark Hardy in control. Off the Wells. And it comes to the near corner. Maxwell trying to get to it. Nichols beats him on the play. Goes behind the net. Nichols to Fox. Penalty is over now. Fox comes out of the corner. Drop pass to Hardy. Slap shot. Score. Kings have scored. Roger had just returned to the ice, but the Kings get the go-ahead goal.
Mark Hardy's been playing real well. Walking out of the corner was Taylor. Back to Hardy. One times it right between the legs of Herron. Denny Herron got a piece of it, but it still managed to find the net. And the Kings have made it 2-1.
Second goal of the season to number 20, Mark Hardy.
There's another look at it. Hardy blasting it, just overpowering Denny Herron.
Time of the goal, 15:01.
So Hardy beats Denny Herron. It's a 2-1 game with the Kings in front. Fox and Nichols on the assist. And now the Penguins must try and come from behind again, as they have done literally this entire road trip. Shed with the puck into the far corner. Penguins have won 1 and lost 2. Every game they've been involved with has been a 1-goal game, whether they've won it or lost it. Here's Smith down the left wing. Smith shooting to the net. Herron stops that rebound. Sykes scores off Fox's stick. And the Kings lead now 3-1.
Well, an innocent play turns into a goal. That's a tough one to take. Sykes was just cruising in on the right wing. Smith just threw the puck to the net. Denny Herron calmly kicks it out, not even knowing that Sykes was cruising in, and went right onto his stick. He shot it, and it looked like it hit Fox and just jumped right up over the shoulder of Denny Herron. In fact, you could see that Denny had his glove out there, was ready to catch the shot, but it hit off Fox's stick and jumped right over his arm.
Scoring his 5th goal of the season, the number 7, Phil Sykes.
So the Kings strike for 2 goals in 28 seconds.
23, Doug Smith.
And they now lead 3-1.
Time of the goal, 15.
We are going to take a timeout. After an icing call, all of a sudden the Penguins, who had a 1-0 lead, are down 3-1. We'll return to Los Angeles. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Well, the Penguins trailing 3-1. The sellout crowd here tonight in Los Angeles, 16,005. And the Kings striking for 3 in the second period here. Lemeiux, Young, and Babbage, the line out for Penguin coach Bob Berry. Lemeiux out of the corner, fakes a shot, man is down. Lemeiux slided over to Mantha. His shot, score! The Penguins come right back to make it 3-2. Babbage might have touched it, and Mantha firing. The Penguins come back. A great pass by Lemeiux to help set up the goal.
Mario danced into the slot, and you just thought he was going to take the shot, but he never did. He just dished it off to Mantha, who had a clean look at the net. Lemieux took a check from 2 players, then dished it off to Mantha, and he blasted it. And Darren Elliott fanned on it and went in behind him.
Time 16:02.
16:02 the time.
Pittsburgh goal scored by number 20, Paul Mantha. Assist to number 66, Mario Lemieux. Time 16:02.
Mantha cashes in. A 3-2 game now. The Penguins coming right back to get back within a goal. Notice how all the Penguin goals are 1 assist and all the Kings are 2. No matter what happens. Here at center is Marcel Dion. Dion with a long shot. This one really has opened up after a 1-0 game. Into the left wing corner. Taylor. Taylor to Dion. A quick shot, a save, rebound. It's knocked away from the side of the net. Dave Taylor. Chabot has a broken stick, or maybe it's just left on the ice. He doesn't have it. Taylor behind the goal. Now skates all the way to the left point. Behind the net for Dion. He tried to center it at the back of the cage. Near corner. Pittsburgh trying to clear it out. They cannot get the puck out. Chabot can't fall on it, and it comes to Busquets around the boards. He'll play it, and it'll be an icing call here. Back to get it'll be Inglow. Less than 3 to go in the second period. Kings lead here from Los Angeles, 3-2. We'll return, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. Final minutes of play in the second period. A 3-2 game now with Los Angeles in the lead. And it's controlled by Bernie Nichols. Nichols to the Penguin blue line. Going to crank it up. Herron standing. Made the save off the stick. Ruskowski from the left wing corner. He couldn't put it in front. Ray Fox of the Penguins. Around the far boards for Marty McSorley. Taylor, McSorley, and Troy Loney, the unit out. Loney trying to shoot it. He does, and it went wide. And Ruskowski relays the puck to Bernie Nichols. He's stripped of it. Hillier can't find anybody alone, but it's an offside play called against the Los Angeles Kings. Fox and Ruskowski have some words. Now, Ruskowski, if he were to be involved in another fight, would be out of the game, because 3 fights in 1 game, you're automatically sent to the showers, and you get all the hot water that way. Terry Bernshire, I think it is, wanted to say hello to all the fans in Washington County. We're not allowed to do that. Tim it is, Tim Bernshire. All right, we won't. Maybe next time, Tim. Here in the Sykes in the play, and the Penguins in. He has one of the 3 Kings goals. Moved around to the near side for Warren Young. Young, Babbage, and Lemieux. We have not seen much of the Mike Bullard line. They have been struggling an awful lot defensively. Now Lemieux is pulled down by Sykes. No penalty call. Lemieux helped try to draw that one late in this period. Pass by Redmond. Through to the Penguin blue line, and Brian Maxwell. You know, one thing this Penguin team has done is they've shown a great deal of resiliency in coming back. The Sykes with it now, wrist shot. That's missed. The rebound by Smith, and here in Cooley grabs it out of the air. As we said on this road trip, every game today, the Penguins have come from behind to tie it and put some thrill into the game, although they lost both or 2 games. One of the Islanders 5-4, and last night to Vancouver 7-6. They were down 6-3 in the 3rd period in that game last night. Here's a look at Denny Herron.
Well, you'd have to say with a sellout crowd here tonight that things have been rejuvenated here in Los Angeles. Pat Quinn has done a good job. This team got off to a slow start, but they were playing well. They were just having lapses, but they put it all together on the road, and they really have this place turned on.
Shabbat to the right of his own goal will handle it with 1:25 left in the 2nd period. Throws it over to Doug Bodger. And he tried to go to Crowder. Crowder bumped in the play by Galley. Shabbat can't go in. Hamilton's offside. He waits, and Taylor belts in. Now the hitting's starting to pick up here between these 2 clubs in the 2nd period. We've seen some pretty tough checks going on. This one might have the makings of getting a little physical in the 3rd period. There's John Shabbat.
Shabbat had a lot of points against these Los Angeles Kings last year when he was with Montreal. A few goals and a few assists. Likes to play against this team.
And Shabbat controls the faceoff. Hillier back, a weak attempt taken by the Kings. They got a man in front. Dion, and he scores. Marcel Dion beats Denny Herron. The Kings get a gimme goal there. 18:59. Well, Hillier would love to have that back. It just couldn't get much on it, getting it out, and the Kings steal. Now, if they give 2 assists on this play, I'll stand up and dance for you.
And Marcel Dion is so cool around the net, too. Very, very controlled. And just look at Denny Herron taking a look at Dion. Who was that man? That was a guy who scored a lot of goals. That's his 451st as a King. 2nd of the game.
Well, you won't see me dance. An offside call against the Kings. McConnell's the only announced assist on it.
Assist number 27, Brian McClellan, time 18.
Now that is a big goal for the Kings. Comes late in the period.
Hillier just tried to chip it out of his own end. He didn't get all of it, and it went right onto the stick of McClellan.
Now Hillier leaves it now for Troy Loney. And he'll wrist it up into the Kings zone. Far corner. Jay Wells, lead pass, too far for Fox. That's Jimmy Fox. Mantha able to gain possession. Off Loney's blade, and it caroms up into the crowd. And we'll get a face-off back at the center ice area. Now, during the 2nd intermission, Paul will have an opportunity to talk with Marcel Dion, who has 2 goals tonight. He had a chance to visit with him before the game this evening. Did he tell you he was going to score 2 in the first
No, but
2 periods?
He was really happy. You can just tell that he was happy that things were going well again here. Veteran players sometimes really need that shot in the arm. Doesn't matter who you are.
Fox to Nichols. And it'll be controlled now by Mario Lemieux. Lemieux out to Babbage. Flipping into the Kings in. Look out. The Pens might have a chance here. Here's Lemieux, and he shot it, and it was blocked on the way in. Kings kind of fumbling with that puck. And the Penguins unable to get a good, clean shot on Darren Elliott. Now Babbage with 8 seconds to go. He's going to cut loose with it. Hit the glass behind the Kings net. Time is going to run out here with the Kings in control. And the buzzer sounds. That is the end of period number 2. The score, The Los Angeles Kings have the lead here at home tonight. They lead Pittsburgh 4-2. We'll return, and this is the Pittsburgh Penguins. Hockey Network handles the puck well. Shabbat still with the puck. Centers it, and it came right to a King. It's Phil Sykes. Sykes will lay it off to Doug Smith. His wrist shot went in behind the Penguin goal area. Back to the left point. Sykes will keep it in. Sykes has it. Looks for a trailer. Mokasak. Where was he going with it? That one was way by everybody. Fox and Redmond now have some words. The puck in the right wing corner. Slipped in behind the Penguin goal, and Hilliard will lay it up to Shabbat. Hilliard now, and Mokasak going to go to it. Hilliard and Carl Mokasak. Not many punches being thrown. Now the helmet of Hilliard is off.
He took it off. Now Hilliard trying to take his off. Look at a little hair pulling maybe. A few rabbit punches thrown in there.
Mokasak and Randy Hilliard both go down.
He put him right down on that hip, too, on that right hip.
We'll take a timeout as Hilliard gets himself back up, as does Carl Mokasak. The scoreboard reads the Kings 4 and the Penguins 2. And this is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Well, Mike Bullard a little earlier went on a skate. He went around the entire periphery of that attacking zone. Finally backhanded it towards the net. It went right onto the stick of McSorley. One whack, another little push, another whack, but Darren Elliott just turned him aside.
Minors and majors. Mark Taylor now gets the assignment to handle Brickley and Shedden on the wings, and he will do that as we go back to play. Neither club loses anybody on the ice. It's still 5 aside, and here the fans colliding with one another. Shedden and Brickley, pretty good check behind the net. Back come the Kings. John Paul Kelly. He can't find anybody to pass to, and it's cleared away to center ice. Engblom leaves it for Anders Hawkinson. Gave it right to Bodger. Bodger deals it over to Brickley, but his return pass goes beyond Busquets and back into Penguin ice. Busquets to Bodger. Brickley has it, passed way behind Shed. Taylor now giving the disc to Busquets up in the air. Penguins now must get it going with 16:25 to go in the third period. It's a 4-2 game with the Kings leading. Brickley riding Engblom into the net area from behind the Los Angeles goal. Still loose. Brickley centers. It came off a leg. Right there is Gary Galley of the Los Angeles Kings. He'll tap it to center to Bob Miller. Right wing to Hawkinson. Trying to beat Maxwell. Puts the brakes on. Drop pass. It went by everybody, but Jay Wells comes in to keep it alive. Put it behind the Penguin net. And that's where Mark Taylor will take possession of the puck. Outlet pass left wing to Warren Young. Young for the Kings in. Stopping at the left point. He looks for Mantha. Can't hit him with a quick pass, and Ruskowski. Counterattacks for the Kings. Into the Penguins in. Little drop pass attempt. Babbage had it for a moment. Mantha now plays it all the way to the Kings net area, where it is Darren Elliott. Plays it in behind the goal. Right wing. Penguins have had the only 3 shots here in this third period so far. Here's Young on the attack. Young down the slot. He keeps on coming. He had a poked up his stick. He's hammered to the boards on a heavy check by Mark Hardy. Good solid check by Hardy. And back come the Kings. Well, he had Young in the corner. When you go into the corners and work, you're going to have to pay the price once in a while. Far side, Ruskowski giving it to Hardy. Slap shot. Here in the save. The rebound back to Young. A return to get back in his own end. Now Babbage and Lemieux. Now Fox and Young put the sticks up to one another. And Hardy comes over to say something to Young, and Young takes a shove at him. And tempers heat up.
Well, it's been getting that way all night. There have been a few little skirmishes going on, little sideshows, and that time it was Fox and Young, and Warren Young working very hard, and he really did take a belt along the boards a moment ago.
Well, Fox is going to go in, and I think Young will get a penalty also. A good solid check, and Hardy put the body into him as he went in.
I'm sorry, Young took a look there, Mike, and you could tell he was bracing himself for the hit, but it didn't make much difference. Hardy really drilled him.
But to make that play, to go into the corner, and the player that Young has been doing it all year. Once in a while, you'll have to pay the price in that regard.
Number 35, Warren Young. 2 minutes for high sticking. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Los Angeles penalties, number 19, Jim Fox. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalties, 4:59.
Well, evidently Young must have said something to referee Dennis Morrell.
To number 35, Warren Young. 2 minutes for high sticking.
So the Penguins get a double minor to Young.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
The Kings will have the lone minor to Jim Fox.
Penalties to number 19, Jim Fox.
Young pretty well skated away from the play, I thought.
Time of the penalties, 4:59.
No, that's a tough call right now. Game's 4-2. Morrell makes it. Here's Puskas. Off that far side to Dion. Marcel Dion looking for the HT, the hat trick. He has 2 of the 4 Kings goals, but this is Mario Lemieux. Circling in his own end. They'll be at equal strength for 2 minutes. Then the Kings will go to a power play. Here's the puck to Babbage. It's an offside call. Well, Babbage looked up and looked around, looked down. The puck was right there. However, it was an offside play.
Mario doing another little dance at center ice to get by a couple of Kings. Speaking of a couple of Kings, Mokosak, Fox.
Kings are going to put Dion and Taylor out against Babbage and Lemieux. With Young gone. The 2-minute minor and the unsportsmanlike conduct. The 2 forwards out. Mark Hardy captures the puck. Lead pass to Dion behind the defense. Dion shooting, and Denny Herron stops that. Dion was going for the hat trick. Fox just got enough of him with that stick to slow him down, and he didn't get the good open shot that he would have liked.
Hardy snapped it ahead, and Dion sneaked in behind Fox, but Fox was able to get back and just disrupt him enough that Dion couldn't get a real good shot away. Denny Herron had the angle covered, making the save. .33 years old, Marcel Dion.
Yeah, he's 4th place all time in the NHL scoring list. Behind Stan Mikita, Phil Esposito, and yes, Mr. Howe, Gordie Howe. Loney of Pittsburgh. Beating Mike Bullard. Bullard 2 men to beat to the Kings line. Left wing pass, a good one to Loney. The slap shot partially blocked by Gary Galley. The young rookie defenseman. Engblom around the horn for Galley. And back behind the net, the pass too far for Engblom. Mantha races in. Good play to keep it in. Force it over to the far side. Bullard puts the shoulder into Galley, but Bullard took the worst of that. He lost his balance and went into the board. Phil Sykes. 13:50 to go. 3rd period. 4-2 the Kings lead. Sykes on the rush. Penalty coming up here. Interference call. And we will take a timeout. It'll be against the Kings. Kings will get the penalty. 13:44 to go. Smith and Loney now have some words. Back down to the Penguins end. We'll return. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Gary Galley was the victim of a circumstance there. He got caught for tripping. And I think that was more of an even up type of thing after the unsportsmanlike penalty call. Now they got the Kings barking at Morrell.
Well, what happened is Galley was ahead of the play. He was trying to get back on side. Fox was backing up, never saw him coming, and he collided with Galley, and he actually backed into Galley. And he felt Fox went over top of him, and apparently the referee, Dennis Morrell, must have looked up at that moment thinking that he was tripped. He was tripped all right, but he didn't even know he was going to get tripped.
Well, the Kings penalties will be served now. Fox, of course, on the 2-minute minor.
I think he was the tripper, not the trippee.
Kings shorthanded by 2 men. The Penguins go to a power play. And it's a 4-2 game. They'll have the power play in effect here for 37 seconds now. Here's Shabbat into the Los Angeles end. Shabbat holding the puck left point. Right side to Bodger. He's got a chance here. That's a go, and he hit the pipe. Hit the outside of it, though, and it's clear by the Kings up ice. Aaron will leave the biscuit for John Shabbat. The Penguins must hurry now with 18 seconds to go in this power play chance. Here's Bodger. Wristing the puck in behind the net. Elliott stops it. That was a good play by Elliott. He got it to the open man Wells, and he will clear. Lemieux hustles back. In 6 seconds, Fox will come on. They'll be at equal strength. And Lemieux gets the motor going. Lemieux to center. To the Kings end. Drive him down deep. Still with the puck. He has it. Now it's poked away. And Wells is knocked down. And here come the Kings. 2-on-2. Fox on the right wing. Blasting. And Bodger blocked that. Never got to the net. Jay Wells from Los Angeles. We have 58 seconds to go. Here's a steal. Babbage on the move. Babbage coming in. Looks for a trailer. Can't quite get it to Lemieux. It's outside the line. In 48 seconds, the Kings will go back on the power play. Mantha, though, firing and scoring. The Penguins make it 4-3. Brilliant shot by Mantha. And Elliott waved at it. The Penguins make it 4-3. Oh, Mantha got all of that shot. And the Penguins cut the Kings lead to 1. Oh, great balls of fire. Did he ever cut loose with this shot?
Mantha coming down. Jay Wells got turned around for some reason, so Mantha had some room. He laid into it. Didn't really bring the stick back too far. He kept it low to the ice, and Elliott fanned on it, and it went right in on the far side.
The shot was a lot faster than what you saw in the replay. It really was. It just exploded off his stick. It may have deflected off one of the Kings, too, on the way in.
Scoring his 5th goal of the season. Second goal of the evening, number 20, Paul Mantha.
Big goal by Mantha.
Assist to number 66, Mario Lemieux. And number 26, Wayne Babbage.
Babbage and Lemieux assisting. It is a 4-3 game, and that is a giant goal for the Penguins. They're back within 1. They're going to face a power play in a moment. Kings coming to the Penguins end. Mantha bumped, and here's Taylor. Left side to Crowder. Crowder left wing. Kings in. His wrist shot, and Elliott had trouble with that, but he made the save. Sykes picks it up. In 10 seconds, the Kings will come back on with a man advantage. They'll have that power play for 43 seconds. Sykes cutting around the man. In on goal, and here he just got the glove down. Made the stop, but the whistle had sounded. I think it was an offside call. Well, the Kings took the shot anyway.
Phil Sykes coming on the off wing, and he was way offside. No wonder he got in all alone on Heron. Denny, I think, thought he heard the whistle but wasn't sure, so he hung in and made the save on him.
A 4-3 game with the Kings leading here in period number 3. And back it comes into Kings ice. We wanted to give a special belated happy birthday to buddy Bill Beckerback, who celebrated his, was it 50th, I think, last week. Here's Nichols now, right side, giving it to Galley, a shot through traffic. Kings on a power play. 25 seconds to go. In the penalties to Warren Young. He had 2 of them. Nichols near corner. Fox with it. Left point to Hardy. Skates it over. Back to Fox off his glove. He goes to Hardy. And Hamilton was in solid checking. Offside call against the Kings. Jimmy Hamilton really pressed the issue there.
Good play by Jimmy Hamilton. That's what you call forechecking on penalty killing. He is a forechecker in a sense, and he's out there bugging Hardy. Hardy had to put the glove down to get the puck, and it was right after that he just brought the puck right outside the blue line. Back in, an offside call.
No, he didn't show it there. He turned around a little move after that. That's when he came back.
Right.
That wasn't the actual offside play there.
No, here he goes.
There it is right there. On the blue line, it's a live puck. It's a good play. But when it comes back out, and then you put it across the line again, that's when the offside results. Here on the near side, here's Redmond. He'll bank it away. Nice work, Mr. Kennedy, our producer and director tonight. Picked that up, and around it goes over to the crowd. We are down now. The penalty time has expired to Warren Young. 4-3 the score. 10:53 left. Period number 3. Kings by 1. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Face-off will be in the Penguins' end. We have a system here whereby we turn on a light to let the people know on the ice that we're going to a commercial break. That didn't seem to work, so maybe you could get up and dance for them next time. Let them know.
I need a white suit if I'm going to do that. A tuxedo.
Well, that might be arranged. If you'll dance, I'm sure somebody will come forth with a white suit.
I'll need a tin cup, too, if you don't mind.
Here's Loney now, digging for the puck. Bullard, Loney, and Marty McSorley, the unit out for the Pens. The Kings, with a disc right in front. Here and knock it away, and it's clear to the near side. Up with a McClellan and a quick shot, and Heron reached out and made the save, and Denny appears to be hurt. He stretched something diving out there. That leg is still bothering Denny, and he had to reach for all he had that time. And he is in some pain. Well, he is playing.
Yep,
he hurt that leg last Saturday in the Island against the Islanders, and he had to stretch out so far, and he may have re-injured it. You can just see the way he reacted. We may have to see a goaltending change here. Denny will try and stick it out. I thought he might be coming home after the trip to New York, but he hung in there and practiced with the team all week. There was some thought, at least maybe on my part, that Roberto Romano might be called up from Baltimore, but that was not the case. And a false face-off here.
There's only one way, Mike, to even make a save on a shot like that, and you've got to get the glove out there and do the splits. And that.
Shots are now 31-26. The Penguins out shooting the Kings 6-1 here in the third period. They trail by 1, 4-3. Mantha has a pair tonight. Here's Lemieux trying to clear, comes in front to Dion, and he pinned on the shot. Marcel Dion now firing on Heron. Where is it? It's off his body, and it comes behind the net to Warren Young. Young leaving the puck for Busquets. Penguins are having some trouble in their own end now. Good pass, so up the left wing to Young. He looks for Lemieux, back to Young, into the King zone. Trying to get it back to Lemieux. He's after it in the left wing corner. Pass it around the left point to Bodger. Down the boards, intercepted by Marcel Dion. Lead pass, 2-on-1 break. Here's Taylor. He couldn't get it over as Busquets made a good defensive play. Taylor hit against the boards by Warren Young. McClellan behind the net. Busquets wants a face-off. The Kings want the puck. They dig it free. McClellan trying to center. He can't do it. Young puts him back against the board. Marcel Dion. Soft little pass around for Dave Taylor. Taylor now with 9:33 to go, and he couldn't hold on to the disc, and the Penguins break out 3-on-2. Here's Young, Babbage, and Lemieux, and they can't go in. It would have been an offside play. The line appears to be a bit tired. Here's Babbage bumping into Dave Taylor. Sent deep into the Kings' end. Young and Babbage come off. Lemieux stays on. Now he raises the stick. He's going to come to the bench. Tap deep into the Penguins' end. Hawkinson goes in with Shed. They'll collide. Some heavy hitting going on right now. Left point. Here's Engblom. Slap shot in. Heron. A great save there. He never saw it till the last second. Shed to the Penguins. Trying to clear. The Kings are all over him. Here's Sykes with a puck. He can't shoot it. Fox belted him. And Mantha will clear it out to center ice. And the game picks up now. 4-3 Kings lead. Here's a heavy check in front of the Penguin bench. Mantha on Doug Smith. And I mean, they are belting one another here now in this third period. Some heavy body checking going on. Mantha at center. He'll lift it to the left wing corner of the Kings zone. Galley went after it. He overskated, but he came back to play it. Ahead it comes. 3-on-2. Left side Sykes. Sykes couldn't put it in front for Doug Smith. The Fox rid him out of the play. Rode him right out of the action in the slot area. Mark Taylor cruising back to Shed in left wing. He's centered, and Engblom is there to pick it off. 8:10 to go, third period. Jim Fox hopping up the ice, and a poke check comes straight to Engblom, and the shot turned off here and sticking into the crowd. We'll take a timeout. Looks like we got another one going right to the end. Stand by. 8:05 left, third period. Kings by 1. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Meeting between these two clubs in the history of the franchises. And the series stands. Pittsburgh has won 42 games. Pittsburgh has lost 42 games, so they've tied 14. It's dead even. And this is the 4-3 game of the Kings leading. They're 1-1 in the last 6 games they played the Penguins here. The Kings are. They have control of the puck. And LaPointe. Wheel it to center to Jim Fox. Fox to the Penguins zone. Fakes a shot. Couldn't get it by Bodger. Now it's still loose, and Shabbat turns and comes the other way. Shabbat swinging wide. Left side. Kings in. He has some room. He'll pass it towards the slot area, but it was deflected. Kept along the far boards by Rick LaPointe. Ruskowski. In behind his own goal. And a pass to the right wing. He'll find Fox alone. 7:14 to go, third period. 4-3, the Kings in command of the game right now. Mantha will find his defense partner, Brian Maxwell. It does come through to Mantha. Mose skating back to the King zone. He's got it going tonight. Wrist shot. Elliott to save. McSorley's for the rebound. McSorley tried to center, went in behind the goal. And Mark Hardy pulls up. He'll sneak it back to the neutral zone from McCall. Avoided a check by McSorley. McCall right wing. Bounces the puck into the right wing corner. Maxwell back in the play. McCall runs into Maxwell. Hardy, right point, has the disc. He shoots it. Heron went down. The puck never got there. Now Wells to McCall, right wing circle. Trying to find Marcel Dion in the pins. Mike Bullard clears it away. All the way to the Kings zone. 6:18 to go, third period. Doug Smith's lead pass. He gets it to Dave Taylor. Stops along the near board, bank it away behind the net. Fox comes over. He'll turn it over to Randy Hillier. Penguins have the only goal of the third period so far. Trying to get back and tie the game. Hillier off the wood and through to center red. Less than 6 to go in the third period. Gary Gallick. They'll pass it up ahead. It's a two-line pass. Mokasak and Fox colliding. We will have a timeout here. From the Forum in Los Angeles, the scoreboard reads the Kings 4, the Penguins 3. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. 5:48 left, third period, and the Kings leading 4-3. And it's center ice. Buskus knocked it down with a glove, still loose, and it's Wayne Babbage. Babbage looked for Lemieux, went off his blade into the King zone. Young going behind the net. Jay Wells able to beat him to the puck, and he cleared it out. It came off the board. Sykes now gave it away to Babbage right down the slot. Boost shot, and he let it go, and it's stopped by Elliott. Off his glove, digging for it, left wing corner. Lemieux and Young comes away with it. Center point to Buskus. He fires off the body of Mokasak. Kings send up the attack now from inside their own blue line. Bill Sykes to Mokasak, trying to split the defense. He goes in, made the pass back. It comes to Mario Lemieux. Lemieux to Young. Soft little pass. Young. Back door for Babbage, and it is picked off by the Kings. They give it right back to the Penguins. Man open left side, Lemieux. He's into the Kings end. To Young, down the slot. Drop pass for Lemieux, and he wasn't there. Lemieux had a stick too well tied up by Mark Hardy. At center, it's Bernie Nichols. Nichols on the move. He shoots it. That one off Maxwell. Maxwell didn't find it for a moment. Third up to Shabbat. Shabbat. Boy, Lemieux, Babbage, and Young have played an awful lot tonight. They appear to be a bit tired here. Crowder firing from the wrist shot. Oh, Shabbat almost put the rebound in. But the Kings have the puck with 4:28 to go in the third period. Maxwell drilling the puck right back into the Kings end. Delayed offside coming up here. Delayed offside against the Los Angeles Kings. And a timeout right now with the Kings leading 4-3. 4:21 left, third period. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Very hard. They're trying to get that tying goal. Bruce Crowder coming down, getting a little bit of room, snapping it off. Darren Elliott had a little trouble with it. Shabbat came by, took a swipe at it, and almost got it by him.
An interesting matchup now. Bullard comes out here with Crowder and John Shabbat to take the left wing. And Redmond moving the puck back to center ice. Mike Bullard. Snap a pass off to Crowder. He'll come to center red and dump it in. The Penguins go after it. Elliott stops it behind the goal. He'll leave it for Craig Redmond. Redmond with a great skating ability cuts away from the checks and shoots it up to center. 2-on-1 break. Here's Nichols. Nichols left side, right side. Good play by Maxwell to break it up. The Kings had a 2-on-1 go over the wayside. Here's Nichols left wing circle. Fan on a shot. And Heron reaches out. He'll glove it. Drop it over to John Shabbat. Penguins gambling a little bit right now, trying to get the tying goal. And Bernie Nichols has possession. He trying to get into the Penguins game. Can't do it. Shabbat strips him of it. Shabbat a good checker and really steals the puck well. Down the right wing. Here's Babbage. And the Penguins quickly going back to the Lemieux line if they can get him on. He's basically using just two lines. At center, it's the Kings. Giving the puck to Fox. Left side, McCollum's open, and Mantha went down and blocked the shot. Gave his body up to block that shot by McCollum. Here's Lemieux, and he is storming back. 3-on-3. Lemieux looking for Young. He's going to carry it in, try to put it between the legs of the defenseman. Goes to the left wing corner. Lemieux has it again. He is hit on the play. Fox raced in, but the Penguins can't keep it in. And Marcel Dion guns back left side. 3:04 to go. Pass ahead for McCollum, and Fox got back in to check him before he could get to the puck. Young in his own territory behind the net, though. The Kings try and center, and the puck is back on the meshing behind goaltender Denny Heron. Well, the Penguins really using two lines here in an effort to try and get the tying goal. Quick shifting here. And here are some tired bodies coming off, and believe me, they played last night in Vancouver, a very tiring game. You are at a disadvantage, no question about it, because Vancouver, many people think it's a short ride. It's a long flight. It's a long day. And the Kings sit at home and wait. Pause for station identification. 5 seconds. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
WPGH TV 53, Pittsburgh.
Back to play and from behind the Penguin goal. Bodger leaving the puck for Shed. Shedden and Loney now on either side of Mario Lemieux. Right back into the Penguins in. A steal by Taylor. Taylor is hit. 2:38 to go in the third period. It's a 4-3 game. Buskus to Troy Loney. Sailed it up ahead. It comes to Doug Shedden. Shedden at center. Down the left wing. Drop pass to Lemieux. He looks for someone to go back to. Goes to the net instead. And Elliott made that save. Along the far side, Marcel Dion gathers the puck in. And he'll deliver it to the Penguin zone, and he chases off. 2:15 to go. Bodger with some room. Bodger to center. Work it into the net area off Elliott's glove. He moves the puck over to the far corner. Loney off his chest. Had it knocked aside, and he comes back out. There's some tired people out there right now. Loney's going to take the puck at center. He lets a wrist shot go. That stop is made by Darren Elliott. And the Kings quickly move it to the neutral zone. The Penguins give it away, and the Kings just tap it inside the Penguin line. Down to a minute 43 to go. Shabbat. Smith with a good checking effort. Takes it away and throws it in behind the Penguin net. Mantha around the near side. Now the line shows Bullard, Shabbat, and Crowder. Fox with the puck. Sends it away to the Penguin left wing corner again. After it will be Fox. Left point to Jay Wells. Slap shot. Heron stick save there. A minute 18 to go. Along the near boards. Penguins trying to work it out. Can't. Wells left side. A shot off Heron's glove. Goes to the far corner. Back behind the net. Carl Mokosak. He gets it to Jim Fox. Back to Mokosak. Put it in front of the net. He hit a skate. Comes in front. Quick shot. O'Heron, a great save on Jim Fox in front. Now the Penguins with a minute to go. And here's Mike Bullard rushing back. Kings take the puck away. Shabbat with a great save there by Heron to give the Penguins an opportunity anyway to try and tie the game. Maxwell's lead pass to Mike Bullard. Throws it away to the Kings in. After it. And it is Crowder unable to stop Mark Hardy. Back to Ruskowski. Lead pass. Nichols right side to Fox. A slap shot missed. We're down to 34 seconds to go. Will Heron come off? Young coming to center. Young into the Kings in. Young left side to Bullard. Bullard throws it behind the net. Babbage is there. Babbage centers. There's nobody home. And Ruskowski will come back with an open net. Ruskowski firing. It's in. Kerry Ruskowski gives the Kings a 5-3 lead. Empty net goal by the Kings captain.
Babbage threw the puck out. There was nobody home except one of the Kings. It was Ruskowski, and he just took it all the way up ice. And he saw the net, and he fired it right down the middle. And you could just see the Penguins were tired, Mike, in the last minute. They just didn't have that jump in their legs anymore. The Kings seemed to have a lot more gas as they came down the stretch there in the last 2 minutes.
So the Kings get the empty netter, and that should seal it. Here is Buskus battling McClellan. Back to center ice. It comes to McSorley. 8 seconds to go. McClellan. And the Kings will win game 1 of this 3-game series. It comes down the far side. Buzzer sounds. That is it. Sellout crowd here tonight in Los Angeles. They watch the Los Angeles Kings defeat the Pittsburgh Penguins